Welcome the rare gems. Some things aren't meant to be caught in a snapshot. They're meant to be lived and felt. If you've ever stared at a photo of yourself and thought, "Why don't I look good here?" You're not alone. For Sigma females, this isn't just a random thing. It's a deeper, spiritual truth. You see, Sigma females aren't shaped by how the world wants to see them. They aren't about putting on a show or fitting into easy, surface-level standards. Instead, they live quietly, powerfully, and authentically on their own terms. That means your true self, the real you, is a rich, complex energy that can't be squashed into a frozen image. You don't perform for the camera because your value isn't about looking good for others. It's about being true to yourself. You're someone who thrives in depth, in silence, and in moments that unfold naturally. If photos feel awkward or like they miss something essential about you, it's because the camera tries to capture what's on the surface. But your essence lives deeper. It's about your intuition, your inner strength, your quiet confidence that can't be forced into a smile or a pose. Being a Sigma female means you move to a different rhythm. You don't chase approval or validation, and that's a rare strength. So next time you feel off in pictures, remember, it's not about flaws or failures. It's proof you're living beyond the surface, and that's exactly who you're meant to be. Number 1. Photos freeze surface appearances, but Sigma females live in the depths. Their essence defies static capture. Photos capture only a single moment, a frozen frame of time. But Sigma females don't live in moments, they live in depths. Their essence isn't just what you see on the outside. It's layered with emotion, thought, and energy that flows constantly. Think of it like trying to capture the ocean in a glass jar. A photo might show a bit of the surface, but it will never hold the waves, the currents, or the life beneath. A Sigma female's energy is always moving. It's not a fixed pose or a rehearsed smile. It's a blend of quiet confidence, raw emotion, and a restless mind that's always exploring. That's why when you look at a photo of her, something feels off. It's not that she's not beautiful or confident. She just can't be squeezed into a single static frame. A photo flattens her, making her seem one-dimensional, when in reality, she's a complex storm of thoughts, feelings, and energy. This constant shift inside her is what makes her magnetic and mysterious. People are drawn to her because she's unpredictable and deep, not because she fits into a neat box. But a camera only understands light and shape. It doesn't get the layers of her personality, the silent strength she carries, or the wisdom in her eyes. That's why Sigma females often feel uncomfortable or awkward in pictures. The camera asks for a moment frozen in time, usually a smile or a perfect pose. But for her, that feels fake. She doesn't want to be reduced to a snapshot or judged by how she looks in a single frame. She wants to be seen as the whole, complicated human being she is, full of contradictions, strength, and vulnerability all at once. So the next time you feel frustrated looking at photos that don't capture your true self, remember, your power lives beyond the surface. Your essence is alive, ever-changing, and impossible to trap in a single image. That's the hidden spiritual truth of being a Sigma female. Number 2. They don't perform for the camera because their authenticity is inherently anti-performance. When it comes to photos, most people instinctively pose, smile, or try to look a certain way, all to get approval or fit into what's expected. But Sigma females? They don't play that game. They don't perform for the camera because their authenticity is completely the opposite of performance. They don't want to show up as a polished version of themselves just to make others happy or to gain approval. That kind of acting feels shallow and exhausting to them. A Sigma female is naturally indifferent to what the world thinks about her appearance. She doesn't chase validation or try to fit into the narrow ideas of looking good. She knows her value isn't tied to how she looks in a photo or how many likes she gets. This isn't about arrogance. It's about deep confidence and self-respect. She's not worried about being liked by the crowd because she's busy being true to herself. This attitude can sometimes come off as cold or distant to others, especially in photos. When she's not smiling on cue or striking a traditional pretty pose, people might think she's uncomfortable, shy, or even unfriendly, but really she's just refusing to fake something she doesn't feel. For a Sigma female, every smile or pose that's forced feels like a compromise of her real self. Her power lies in this refusal to conform, to be genuine even when it means looking awkward in a photo. This indifference to external validation sets her apart. She lives by her own standards, not society's checklist of what good-looking should be. So if you're a Sigma female feeling frustrated by how you look in pictures, take heart. You're not missing something. You're just too real for a camera that demands a performance. And that truth, your realness, is your greatest strength. It's the secret power behind why you don't fit into anyone's box, and why you will always be uniquely unforgettable. Number 3. Sigma females are masters of internal landscapes, not external optics. Sigma females live inside their minds and souls, not in the shallow world of appearances. They're masters of their internal landscapes, the thoughts, feelings, and quiet wisdom that shape who they truly are. This inner world is rich, complex, and always shifting. It's where their real power lies. But here's the catch. Cameras can only capture what's on the outside. A photo freezes a face, a pose, a look, but it can't hold presence, intuition, or the kind of silent magnetism Sigma females naturally give off. These qualities aren't something you can point a lens at or trap in a pixel. They exist in energy, in how she moves through a room, in how she reads people without words. Because their power is internal, Sigma females often feel misunderstood in photos. What the camera shows is just a thin layer, skin, hair, a glance, but none of the depth beneath. That's why a picture can never really do justice to her essence. This invisible power is what draws people in without her saying a word. It's the feeling you get when you're near someone who's quietly confident, endlessly curious, and completely self-reliant. That vibe can't be manufactured or faked, and no camera can steal it or display it. So if you're a Sigma female frustrated with how you look in photos, know this. Your true power isn't missing, it's just beyond the frame. Your strength is in your presence, your instincts, and your quiet force. And those aren't just invisible to cameras, they're impossible to copy. That's your real beauty. Number 4. Their spirituality often disconnects them from societal norms of beauty. Photos codify those norms and reject anything outside the box. Sigma females carry a spirituality that runs deep. It shapes how they see the world and themselves in ways most people don't. This spirituality often sets them apart from society's usual ideas of beauty. While most photos are designed to fit into a neat little box of what's considered attractive or acceptable, Sigma females don't fit that box. Photos aren't just pictures, they're like rules written in light, telling us what to expect and what to celebrate. But those rules are rigid. They focus on surface-level traits, perfect smiles, clear skin, symmetrical faces, and leave little room for anything outside that standard. That's a problem for Sigma females because their beauty is more than skin deep. It's an aura, a vibe, a spiritual presence that can't be confined or simplified. When you take a photo of a Sigma female, it tries to flatten that whole spiritual aura into something small and one-dimensional. It misses the soul behind the eyes, the energy in her stance, the quiet strength that radiates without words. The camera doesn't reject her because she isn't pretty enough, but because her beauty exists on a different frequency, one that can't be captured by formulas or filters. This disconnect between spiritual depth and photographic norms can feel frustrating or isolating. It's like being asked to fit a wild, free river into a tiny cup. But it also explains why Sigma females often look off in photos. They aren't broken or awkward. They're simply refusing to be reduced to a flat, lifeless image. So the next time you don't recognize yourself in a picture, remember it's not a failure. It's a sign that your spiritual energy is too vast and real for any camera to contain. That invisible light you carry, it's your true beauty, one that photos just can't steal or dull. Number 5. They are energy beings before they are physical appearances, and photos strip away energy, capturing only matter. Before Sigma females show up as faces, bodies, or expressions, they exist first and foremost as energy, complex, vibrant, and alive. Their true self is a powerful energy being, moving through the world with a presence that's felt, not just seen. But here's the problem. Photos don't capture energy. Cameras freeze matter, the physical form, the surface. They trap light reflecting off skin, a smile, or a pose. What they completely miss is the invisible force behind it all, the energy that breathes life into a person. For Sigma females, this creates a spiritual mismatch. Their essence is energy, fluid, deep, and ever-changing, while photos are fixed snapshots of mere matter. It's like trying to capture the wind inside a photograph. The result? Images that feel flat, incomplete, and sometimes even strange because they don't reflect the full truth of who they are. This gap between the vibrant energy they carry and the static image a camera produces can be jarring. Sigma females might look off or awkward in photos, not because something is wrong, but because the photo is missing the most important part of them, their living, breathing spirit. So when you look at a picture and feel like it's not you, know this: the camera didn't fail you. It simply can't capture what really makes you, you. Your power isn't in how you look frozen in a frame, it's in the energy you carry everywhere you go, an energy no photo can ever steal or recreate. That's the hidden spiritual truth behind why Sigma females don't look good in photos. Their essence is alive, and photos only show what's dead, and that's perfectly okay. Number 6. The mirror of the camera lens reflects societal expectation, but Sigma females refuse to mirror back conformity. The camera lens acts like a mirror, but it's not just reflecting your face, it's reflecting society's expectations of how you should look. It wants a certain kind of smile, a certain pose, a polished version that fits the mold everyone agrees on. But Sigma females, they don't play that game. They refuse to mirror back those expectations. This refusal to conform creates an invisible tension in photos. It's like standing against a strong wind. The camera pushes one way, society's norms push another, and the Sigma female stands firm, not giving in. That push and pull shows up in pictures as awkwardness or not looking good. But it's not a flaw, it's a sign of resistance. When she doesn't smile on command or strike the expected pose, it feels uncomfortable to some viewers because it breaks the unspoken rules. The camera tries to capture a version of her that fits the usual story, but she won't give it what it wants. She won't fake or fold herself just to please a lens or the crowd behind it. This creates a kind of invisible conflict in the image, a silent rebellion that feels off to the outside eye. But really, it's her way of staying true to herself in a world that constantly demands sameness. So when photos don't show her at her best, it's not because she's less or lacking. It's because she's standing tall, refusing to become just another reflection of what the world wants her to be. That tension you see, it's her power quietly saying, "I won't be boxed in." And that makes her unforgettable, even if the camera doesn't quite get it. Number 7. Their discomfort in photos stems from spiritual honesty. They see beyond surface illusions and refuse to fake perfection. The discomfort Sigma females feel in front of a camera isn't just about being shy or awkward, it runs much deeper. It comes from spiritual honesty. They see beyond the surface illusions that most people get caught up in. While photos often celebrate a polished, artificial kind of prettiness, smiles on demand, perfect angles, staged expressions, Sigma females refuse to fake any of it. This raw self-awareness is a powerful thing. They recognize that trying to force perfect into a frozen image is just pretending, and pretending goes against everything they stand for. To them, faking perfection feels like denying their true selves, and that's not an option. Because they're so tuned in to what's real and what's shallow, their discomfort in photos is actually a form of resistance. They disrupt the usual story that photos tell, the one where surface-level beauty is the main star. Instead, their presence exposes how fake that story really is. So when a Sigma female looks uneasy or off in a photo, it's not a weakness. It's a sign that her spiritual honesty is too strong to be contained by a simple snapshot. She refuses to play a role or put on a mask just to look pretty for the camera. In a world obsessed with curated images and flawless appearances, that kind of authenticity can feel uncomfortable, even disruptive. but it's also deeply refreshing and real. And that's why, even if photos don't capture her best look, they can never capture the true power of a Sigma female's spirit. Number 8. Their spiritual path often involves embracing imperfection, chaos, and rawness, concepts the camera hates because it prefers controlled, polished images. Sigma females walk a spiritual path that's anything but neat and tidy. They embrace imperfection, chaos, and rawness, those messy, real parts of life that most people try to hide or smooth over. For them, growth and truth come from facing the unfiltered reality, not from hiding behind a polished mask. The camera, though, is designed to capture control and order. It loves clean lines, perfect lighting, and posed, polished images where everything looks just right. It wants to freeze a moment that fits a certain ideal, one that feels safe and easily digestible. This sets up a clash. The chaotic, imperfect, raw energy Sigma females carry doesn't fit into the camera's neat little frame. Their true selves, full of edges, cracks, and depth, don't translate well into photos that crave perfection and control. So when Sigma females stand before a camera, their spiritual reality resists being tamed or edited. The camera struggles to capture their messy beauty and instead tries to force it into a smooth, polished image. The result often feels forced or off because it's fighting against the very essence of who they are. This spiritual tension explains why Sigma females don't look good in photos by traditional standards. It's not about flaws or faults. It's about a deep refusal to lose their raw, imperfect truth just to fit into a frame. Their power lies in embracing all parts of themselves, even the messy ones. And that kind of authenticity can never be fully captured by a camera's lens. Number 9. Sigma females' inner silence contrasts the camera's loud demand for expression. This mismatch creates unnatural tension and awkwardness. Sigma females carry a deep inner silence, a calm, steady stillness that comes from knowing themselves beyond words and noise. Their strength isn't loud or flashy, it's quiet, rooted in thoughtful observation and inner peace. The camera, however, demands the opposite. It wants expression, big smiles, obvious emotions, and moments that shout, "Look at me!" It thrives on energy you can see and feel immediately, not subtlety or quiet confidence. This clash, their silent presence against the camera's loud expectations, creates an awkward tension. The camera pushes for a performance, but the Sigma female holds back, staying true to her natural state. That push and pull shows up as discomfort or not looking good in photos, because the moment is forced rather than flowing naturally. It's like trying to make a calm river roar like a waterfall. The essence just isn't there. But that doesn't mean something is wrong with her. It means the camera wasn't made to capture the kind of power that speaks softly but carries far. So when photos feel awkward or unnatural, it's just a sign of this spiritual mismatch, a quiet soul resisting a loud demand. And honestly, that's where her real strength lies. Number 10. Their energy field may be too complex, too deep for the flat 2D medium, which reduces their vibrancy to dullness or emptiness in photos. A Sigma female's energy isn't just something you see. It's a whole field, complex and layered, vibrating with depth and subtlety. It moves, shifts, and flows around her like an invisible aura that pulls people in without words. This energy carries her moods, her thoughts, and even her quiet power, all wrapped up in something you feel rather than just see. But photos are flat. They're two-dimensional static snapshots that strip away movement and life. They can't capture energy fields or subtle shifts in vibe. Instead, they take all that rich, vibrant energy and squash it into a single, still frame. The result? That deep, dynamic energy of a Sigma female looks dull, empty, or even cold in photos. The vibrancy that makes her so magnetic in person gets lost in translation, reduced to something lifeless on the screen or paper. It's like trying to capture a wildfire with a single flickering candle. No matter how bright that candle burns, it can't match the intensity or complexity of the blaze. So when you see a Sigma female in photos and feel something's missing, that's exactly what's happening. The camera just isn't built to capture the full force of her living, breathing energy. Her true presence needs space to move and flow, something no flat picture can give. Number 11. Their spiritual sovereignty means they are not malleable to the camera's gaze. They resist being objectified or simplified into a mere image. Sigma females carry a deep spiritual sovereignty, a fierce sense of self that refuses to be shaped or softened by outside forces. This inner freedom means they don't easily bend or change just to fit what others want to see. The camera's gaze is often objectifying. It tries to reduce a person to a simple image, a pretty face, a flattering angle, a neat package to be consumed. But Sigma females resist this. They won't let themselves be simplified or turned into something less than their full, complex selves. Their spiritual sovereignty acts like an invisible shield, pushing back against the camera's attempt to capture and contain them. They won't be posed or polished into a version that pleases or fits expectations. Instead, they stay true to their authentic essence, which can't be boxed into a single frame or frozen moment. This resistance creates images that might look awkward or incomplete to others, but it's actually a powerful refusal to be objectified or diluted. Their real selves live beyond the lens, beyond the surface, unshaped, unapologetic, and sovereign. In refusing to be molded by the camera's gaze, Sigma females hold on to their true power, the right to be seen on their own terms, not as an image made to please. In final words, not everything that shines needs to be caught on camera. If you've ever felt like you don't look good in photos, it's not because you lack something. It's because your true self isn't meant to be boxed into a picture. As a Sigma female, you carry a depth, a quiet strength, and a spiritual presence that goes far beyond what any lens can capture. You don't perform for the world, you live authentically on your own terms. This means photos will often miss the real you, the part that thinks deeply, feels intensely, and moves through life with silent confidence. That awkwardness or flatness others see, it's just the camera struggling to catch something it wasn't built to hold. Remember, your value isn't measured by how good you look in a snapshot, but by how true you stay to yourself. Your power comes from your inner world, your thoughts, your intuition, your resilience. Things no photo can show but everyone around you feels. So don't let pictures define you or shake your confidence. Embrace the truth that you're living on a different frequency, one that challenges shallow appearances and celebrates real, raw authenticity. You are a Sigma female, rare, complex, and far too powerful to be reduced to just a face on a screen. Keep walking your path with quiet pride, knowing that your essence is far richer and deeper than any photo could ever reveal. Thank you for watching The Rare Gems, and God bless you.